Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, a Friday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and unfortunately the Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and yeah, turns out yesterday was not a bad dream for us Pirates fans. You are, alive and comprehensive to everything that went on. It wasn't a bad dream. It wasn't some alternate reality of the Matrix where, oh, hey, this is what the, worst case scenario could be. It is the real thing. The worst trade deadline that I have ever seen. And I think I'm safe to say that every single Pittsburgh Pirate fan has ever seen happened yesterday. Ben Cherington, the general manager for the Pittsburgh Pirates, making mind-boggling, bewildering move, one right after another, and, a slow day in the Pittsburgh news cycle, so we are left to react to it some more. We did hear from Ben Cherington. He spoke to the media yesterday, last night, after the trade deadline wrapped up. We will get into some of the gaslighting and propaganda that he spewed out, all that and much more. We'll also talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers a little bit in the second half of the program. We do not today, rare that we do not have training camp to talk about. Not yet. Their night practice, their Friday night lights practice that they have at Latrobe Memorial Stadium. That is happening tonight. So practice, I think if I had to guess, it's going to be probably around 7 o'clock-ish. I think that is when the time that it starts. So anything that happens in that practice or the practices that happened this weekend, we will cover on Monday. But there is some things to talk about the Steelers. Does General Manager Omar Khan, the best general manager in the city of Pittsburgh, does he have one or possibly two more big moves left up his sleeve? We will get into those and any other news stories that we come across along the way. First thing is first, if you are new here to the channel, please please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I'm live again. Also, feel free to like this video, leave a like, share this live stream so that we can get the viewership numbers up in here, and leave a comment in the comment section just like this. I can pop those up on the screen at a moment's notice, and we can interact that way. Any thoughts, questions, opinions, or just frustrations that you want to let out about the Pirates or any of the Pittsburgh sports teams in general, get those in the comment section, and we can talk back and forth that way. Also, would appreciate it if you give me a follow on all the following social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and X at Steel City SR, just like the YouTube handle. And be sure to tune back in at some point later this night. SCSR60 will be up, a Friday edition of that. It is a new video that we started on Monday this week. I think positive overall of reviews of it so far, basically breaking down all of the top news stories of the day in 60 seconds or less. So be sure to be on the lookout for that later tonight. Like I said, we are going to start off once again today talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates, General Manager General Manager Ben Cherington, owner Bob Nutting, and the trade deadline from hell that the Pittsburgh Pirates fans are calling it. Just to recap what all went on in case you have been living under a rock for the past 48 hours. Let's start on Wednesday night. Pittsburgh Pirates, their first trade of the deadline. I'm not counting the Adam Frazier getting traded to the Kansas City Royals for a AAA player Cam Devaney trade. I'm not counting that as a deadline move. That was a couple of weeks ago. Talking about trades, that happened hardcore this week. On Wednesday night, the Pirates, they made their first big sale of the deadline, trading third baseman Ke'Bryan Hayes to the division rival Cincinnati Reds. In return, they got left-handed reliever, veteran left-handed reliever, 34 years old, Taylor Rogers, and a single-A 20-year-old prospect infielder, Sammy Stafura, along with, and the Pirates, they do not want you to know this, cash considerations. The Pirates just say, hey, it was Hayes for these two players in their release of the trade. Meanwhile, the Reds, they said, hey, we gave them those two players, but we also gave them money too, because we know Bob Nutting can't turn down getting a bit of cash thrown his way. Just a little bit on that trade. Ke'Bryan Hayes, wish nothing but the best for him. Things just didn't work out here. He was given a big contract, didn't live up to that big contract. He surely did live up to the money he was making, that and more with the fielding and the glove work, the defense that he provides. But with the bat, he was just absolutely atrocious. So I think the Pirates, hey, Hayes, I think it would be a healthy divorce here for both sides. Let's send him on his way. We also got Jared Triolo, who can pretty much do the same things that Hayes can. Good with the glove, not as good as Hayes, but still, though, a gold glove caliber defender. Also can't hit worth a damn, just like Ke'Bryan Hayes. He's cheaper and he's healthier. Hayes, of course, having the chronic back issues that we've covered here time and time again. What the Pirates got back in that trade, Sammy Stafura, the 20-year-old single A prospect. I believe he is 20 years old, 6 foot. Wouldn't you know, typical Ben Cherington acquisition there. Middle infielder who doesn't hit for, pop worth anything. He is the number 7 prospect in the Bucs pipeline right now. The reason why I say I wish best for Ke'Bryan Hayes yesterday. Delivered a heartfelt message thanking the Pirates organization for drafting him, thanking the fans for all the support. And even though he's going to a division rival in the Reds, he ended his farewell statement with, quote, I wish the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing but the best and continued success in the future. Classy move by Hayes to say that, especially going to the enemy now. However, one small problem, wishing the Pirates continued success, that would mean and imply that there was success here to begin with. Little bit of a fact check there for you, Ke'Bryan. But hey, seems to be off to a good start with the Reds. He did have a rare defensive gaffe last night where a ball got past him at second base. But then Hayes, wouldn't you know it, the baseball gods, they were exactly that, baseball gods. Ke'Bryan Hayes, his first game as a Cincinnati Red, in his first hit as a Cincinnati Red, bottom of the 8th inning, hits a 3-run home run down the left field line in Great American Small Park. So yeah, Hayes, as soon as he goes off the Pirates, gets a home run, his first home run, 1 of 4 in like his last 203 at-bats, something I read on him yesterday. So that's typical. That, by the way, home run sparked an 8-run 8th inning for the Cincinnati Reds to tie up that ball game last night against the Atlanta Braves. So when you know it, Hayes goes somewhere else. He turns into Alex Rodriguez all of a sudden. And hate to say this, shipping off Hayes for a veteran lefty who, I'm just going to spoil it for you here, didn't stay on the team for long, and a 20-year-old prospect who won't see the majors for another 5 years. That was the best compensation that the Pirates got back at the trade deadline, period. Going over some of the other trades here, left-handed reliever Caleb Ferguson signed a 1-year deal in the offseason. He got shipped off to the contending Seattle Mariners. In return, the Bucs got Jeter Martinez, a 19-year-old right-handed pitching prospect. Wouldn't you know it, in single-A ball. Thing with Jeter Martinez, kid throws gas. Think he can hit triple digits every now and again. Unfortunately, kind of terrible right now. 16 games in single-A this year, 2-6 record, a 6.18 ERA. Can't hit the strike zone worth a damn sometimes. Yeah, so hopefully the Pirates, which they're okay at developing pitching, maybe they can fix that kid. Then the big one, the biggest trade made by the Pirates at this trade deadline, all-star closing pitcher David Bednar sent to the New York Yankees. In return, the Pirates got 3 players. All right, let's look at this objectively here before we see the return. Bednar, Pittsburgh kid, love him to death, had 2 all-star seasons here in Pittsburgh, and after a demotion earlier this season, came back up and was lights out once again. I think he went 17 straight appearances where he did not give up a run or something like that. It might have been 17 straight save appearances he made to save. Also, he was on a scoreless inning streak there for a while. So he goes to New York. Bucs get back 3 players. I'm like, all right. Hopefully Spencer Jones is a headliner here. I'm pretty sure the 2 throw-ins at the end there, or maybe a bottom tier major leaguer or another AAA guy who's on the cusp. And then maybe, a throw-in single-A player, because of course we got to have those. Nope. The return for the Pirates was catcher / first baseman Rafael Flores. He is the number 8 prospect in the Yankees farm system. The other 2 players, catcher / first baseman Edglin Perez, the number 14 prospect in the Yankees organization, and a single-A outfielder, center fielder Brian Sanchez, unranked in the Yankees top 30 prospect system. In one move, Ben Cherington I think it's safe to say traded away his worst, or his best, I should say, acquisition that he made in his 6 years as the Pirates general manager. We remember Joe Musgrove gets sent to the San Diego Padres. In return, the Pirates got a prospect, Hudson Head, just recently got released from the organization. Jack Sawinski, still up with the team, still can't hit worth a damn after he had, half a season there where he was on pace to, be like a 30 home run hitter. And Bednar also came back in that deal. So chalk that trade up as one of the rare trade wins that Ben Cherington has had. So he chips off his best player that he's ever gotten via trade. In return, he got a catcher who, according to Jeff Passan and a couple of other MLB insiders and prospect knowers, is big league ready. Problem with that, the Pirates already have 3 big league catchers. Endy Rodriguez, unfortunately, kind of made of glass. He's been dealing with injuries. Hopefully he can get his career back on track. Joey Bart, great acquisition last year. This year, though, complete and total opposite from what he was the previous season. He only has 1 home run this year. And Henry Davis, a 1-1 pick. First overall, 5 years ago? 5 years ago now. And, turns out he can't hit worth a damn right now either. Probably because of the instruction that is being implemented on him. So with that, bringing in Rafael Flores, who fits the bill, honestly. I think I saw someone put out there, Rafael Flores, what are his strengths as a batter? Good eye for the zone, draws walks. What are his weaknesses as a hitter? Can't really hit the ball when it's in the zone, I think was one thing, and also pretty high strikeout rate. So sounds like a Pirate batter right there. Also, this trade, bringing in Rafael Flores, I think that is Cherington saying, hey, this guy, more than likely, we're gonna put our chips on him here. So kind of admitting defeat with at least Henry Davis, a 1-1 overall pick. I think we can officially declare that as a bust because I think Cherington sees him, Rafael Flores, as Henry Davis's replacement. Also, back in the trade for Bednar, the Pirates not just didn't get a big league catcher who is blocked and who can't hit. They also got 19-year-old catcher Perez, single A hitter, or single A catcher / first baseman, 5'10", $155, soaking wet. So, small, undersized player. Yeah, you can probably translate that to how he is as a hitter. Perfect. And then also that Brian Sanchez, random ass outfielder, decent size. I think he's 6'3". Unfortunately, I think he's hitting like 209 down there in single A. So you shipped off your all-star closer. In return, you got 3 at best question marks in what I am going to say and what MLB insider John Morosi has said, the best relief market in terms of what you can get back for relievers that anyone has ever seen at a trade deadline. Yesterday, you saw closing pitchers, late inning relievers go for maximum returns. We saw the top prospect for the San Diego Padres organization, which they somehow keep on getting some of the best prospects you've seen in all of the minor leagues. You saw them send off their top prospect to the Athletics for closing pitcher Mason Miller, among other top 30 prospects. Ryan Helsley, closer for the Cardinals, got a decent haul from the New York Mets. Yohan Duran, closer for the Minnesota Twins, which, hey, I'm on here. We are going to bitch up a storm and mourn ourselves being Pirates fans. At least we're not the Minnesota Twins. They sold off everything yesterday. But Yohan Duran, their closer. In return, the Twins, they got back 2 top 10 prospects from the Phillies. So in a very friendly seller's market for those teams who have relievers and are looking to offload them, very friendly market. Ben Cherington got back a very middling at best return. Also, think Ben Cherington should, moving forward, refrain from trading with the New York Yankees because shout out Jim Rosati of the North Shore 9 crew. In Ben Cherington's tenure as Pirates general manager, he has acquired 10 of the New York Yankees' top 30 prospects, according to Baseball America. And those 10 prospects are Rowanzi Contreras, once looked all right, and then for some strange reason, the Pirates, for as I guess decent as they are of developing pitchers, he flamed out here, and I don't even know where he is in the league anymore. So Rowanzi Contreras won. Rafael Flores, who we got yesterday. Miguel Yajure. Almost forgot about Miguel. Was a bullpen pitcher back when, year 2 or 3 of Cherington's tenure, back when the team was still hardcore selling. So, Miguel Yajure probably went back to some sort of Dominican or Mexican league and is out of Major League Baseball. Kanan Smith-Njigba, pretty much the only thing he's known for anymore is being Jackson Smith-Njigba's brother, the wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. Edglin Perez, who we talked about yesterday. Kiner Delgado. No idea who he is. Probably still in the organization. Probably somewhere down in, single A, double A. Who the hell knows? Brian Sanchez, who they got yesterday. Here's a blast from the past. Hoy Park. Everybody remember Hoy Park? Man, he got, half a season, if that, tryout at second base. And then he fell off the face of the earth. Michael Escado. No idea where the hell he is, if he even is still with the organization. And the last one, Diego Castillo. Another one of those guys, just like Miguel Yajure, Kanan Smith-Njigba, Hoy Park. Guys who were here in the dead middle/early stages of the rebuild, who flamed out almost instantly upon making the major leagues and were never heard from again. So great acquisitions there, Ben Cherington. I bet you that the Yankees general manager Brian Cashman, he is giddy. It's like Christmas Day for him when he sees that 412 area code pop up on his, cell phone screen calling to make a trade. Also, if that wasn't bad enough, it's not like the Pirates, for, them acquiring those guys. It's not like the pieces that they sent to New York flamed out either. Shout out Adam Gretz for pointing this out there. In response to Jim Rosati's tweet. So far, the players that the New York Yankees acquired in the trades between the Yankees and Pirates since Ben Cherington became general manager have accumulated a 9.1 WAR. If you don't know what WAR is, WAR, wins above replacement. So this player is worth X amount of wins over just some run-of-the-mill average big leaguer. So any players that the Pirates have traded to the Yankees have accumulated a 9.1 WAR, wins above replacement. Those guys being Jameson Taillon, Clay Holmes, JT Brubaker, and now probably going to be David Bednar is going to make that go up. The list of players that Ben Cherington acquired, those 10 I just listed off to you, they have a WAR of -2. Literally every single player that he's brought in trades with the Yankees have costed the Pirates over the years 2 less wins on average. And Bednar is probably going to, bump the Yankees up by probably at least into the double digits in terms of WAR. So fantastic. The most one-sided relationship in terms of trades that you will ever see. The Pirates and the Yankees automatically assume from here on out, as long as Ben Cherington is at the helm, that anybody the Pirates get back in return are going to suck shortly upon making the majors, and anybody that goes to the Yankees, they are going to be rejuvenated, and rightfully so, when they actually play for a real baseball team. Moving on here with what the Pirates did yesterday. Like I said, this is probably going to be most of the show here today. So, we're just going to, mourn and loathe together. A very surprising one, and one that actually infuriated me more than the David Bednar trade. So Bednar, him getting traded, all right, he's got 1 year left on his contract after this season. relievers selling high. I mean, you were hoping Ben Cherington, a blind squirrel, could have found a nut there. Unfortunately, he did it. The Bailey Falter trade perplexes me beyond. I can't even begin to squint at that trade and find any sort of positive in it. The Bednar trade, I mean, yeah, prospects unproven. Maybe that they can, develop into something. Maybe Rafael Flores can be. I think I've heard people throw out there, he could be Francisco Cervelli, the best catcher that the Bucs have had since Cervelli. This one makes no sense. Bailey Falter traded to the Kansas City Royals. He reunites with Adam Frazier. Wonder who's going to fight over number 26 out there. So Falter, in return, the Pirates got left-handed relief pitcher Evan Sisk. 28 years old, has had 5 major league appearances, and for the majority of his big league career as a 28-year-old, meaning, once you hit 28, you should at the very least be a full-time big leaguer. He has been stuck in AAA, has made 5 big league appearances. No sense whatsoever in that addition. And also the Pirates got for Bailey Falter first baseman Kalen Moss, a single-A first baseman. I think I saw something, at least, half decent pop. I think he's got over or around 15 home runs. Unfortunately, though, Kalen Moss, not a top 30 prospect for the Royals. Also, I think he was drafted 1 or 2 years ago, went undrafted in the MLB draft, which is absurdly large. 20 rounds in the Major League Baseball draft. He went undrafted. An undrafted, non-top 30 prospect first baseman in single A, and a 28-year-old 4A pitcher, pretty much. He'll be in AAA most of the time. If you need a, relief pitcher just because your bullpen is gassed or you're having a bullpen game, call up Evan Sisk and then send him back down a couple days later. No sense whatsoever in that trade. Bailey Falter, by the way, a big reason why he was traded. Apparently, Noah Hiles, who top reporter for the Pirates, great beat writer, covers the team, has good sources. He was told that Bailey Falter was going to be a non-tender candidate this offseason, meaning the Pirates were not going to pick up Falter's contract and they were going to let him walk in free agency. Falter, a very solid 4th, 5th starting pitcher in a rotation on a cheap $2.2 million deal with, I think, 3 more seasons of club control and a 3.73 ERA. A sub-4 ERA, 3 more years of control, a 118 whip in 22 starts this year, making nothing pretty much, and you were not going to tender that contract. You were not going to pick it up. He's too good. I mean, I don't want to go to arbitration with Bailey Falter. We might need to pay him $2.5 million instead of $2.2. I don't know. That is ridiculous. Also, I'm going to mention the Bailey Falter trade here and again here in just a minute. The Pirates, by the way, they made one last trade, so they made 5 total trades during deadline week. Remember Taylor Rogers, who I said that the Pirates got back for Key Brian Hayes, along with they got back for Key Brian Hayes. It was Taylor Rogers and that prospect, 20-year-old down in single A. Taylor Ward immediately flipped, like we all suspected he would be, to the Chicago Cubs. In return, the Bucs. Wouldn't you guess? I'll give you a guess. One guess as to what type of player the Pirates got back for Taylor Rogers. You got it? Got the guess in your mind? All right. If you said a AAA or AA or big league player, I'm sorry, you are completely wrong, and that was a moronic guess by you. They got, once again, a single A player, outfielder, Ivan Brethauer. Never heard of the kid before, probably never will after that trade. Moving past the trades themselves, All right, Pirates, Taylor Rogers, Caleb Ferguson, those guys expected to be gone. Key Brian Hayes, salary dump, understand that one. David Bednar, kind of as the weeks went along, we knew he was going to be gone. We were just hoping for the best for a return. Bailey Falter, little surprised by that one. Who did the Pirates not trade? Oh yeah, pretty much every single person on a 1-year deal who will not be here next year. Andrew Heaney, still here. Gonna make the start tonight. By the way, the Bucs, 8-10 first pitch tonight. They begin a 3-game weekend series against the Colorado Rockies. And I bet you Ben Cherington and Bob Nutting, they are thanking their lucky stars that the schedule just so happened to have the Bucs on an away series over a home series following this deadline. So, yeah, Andrew Heaney still here, going to make his start tonight. I don't mean in disrespect when I say this about Andrew Heaney. He, kind of like Bailey Falter, your number five starter in the rotation. He's okay. He's just a guy. He might give you, a good start here and there where he goes 6 or 7 innings of shutout, 1-run, 2-run ball. But how is he still here? Andrew Heaney, lefty, Bailey Falter, lefty. The Pirates, they kept Andrew Heaney, let me rephrase this. The Pirates kept Andrew Heaney, traded away Bailey Falter. Bailey Falter, better, longer time of control, and yeah, Bailey Falter, better than Andrew Heaney, gonna be under contract longer than Andrew Heaney, and they kept the older, not here as long, expiring contract, worser guy over Bailey Falter. So Andrew Heaney is still here. I hope he, still does well. But yeah, that was crazy to me that Heaney, the guy who everyone would have bet a lot of money that would have been traded at the deadline, even if it was just for a minor leaguer. Honestly, Andrew Heaney, he could have gotten the return that Bailey Falter got. I don't think I'm stretching limits when I say that. Andrew Heaney, he could have gotten you a 28-year-old AAA reliever and a single A first baseman who will never see the big leagues. So I could have guessed that. Also, staying, Dennis Santana. Now, Santana, younger than David Bednar, having a career year. You wonder whether it's, just a mirage or something, whether this is the real Dennis Santana or if he's going to have some sort of trickle down, come back to earth moment later on in the season. I don't know. I'm okay getting him. I would have liked to have seen if you could have gotten for Dennis Santana the same return that David Bednar got, or maybe more. But hey, looking at what the Bucs got for Bednar, glad Santana is saying, because I would have lost my mind if a similar trade would have happened. He now, I assume, will fill in the closer role for at least the rest of the season. Also staying, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Kind of, as I slept on it and thought about that one today, not really all that shocked that IKF ended up staying because, I think the Pirates, Connor Griffin, shortstop, still quite a ways away from the big leagues, even though he's making damn good progress through the farm system. However, other than Connor Griffin in the pipeline, who is really going to be a major league shortstop for this team? I guess you can squint and say Liover Peguero. I think he's going to be more of the bounce around guy between, shortstop and second base, not be a starter. But hey, filling at these two spots, also apparently can play first base. We figured that out. And so other than Peguero and Connor Griffin, nobody, no player in this Pirates organization in the pipeline is going to project to be a big league shortstop in the next 3 years. So keeping Isaiah Kiner-Falefa kind of a necessity keep right there. Also, with the way he's hit this year. Would not be surprised if the Pirates tried to give him an extension in the offseason. Let's just hope that IKF actually wants to be here, come next season. The final Pirate that stayed, that was a heavy trade candidate. Does anybody happen to know who the hell Tommy Pham is? Genuine question. Oh, yeah, he's the guy who's been the best hitter on the Pirates organization over the past, calendar month now? When Tommy Pham signed with the Pirates this offseason, it was a late, in the offseason signing. We all went through the offseason. Oh, hey, Anthony Santander, maybe the Pirates should get him. Nope, he signed somewhere else. Hey, Austin Hayes, maybe he's a good pickup. Nope. Alex Verdugo, maybe? No. Instead, the Pirates signed Tommy Pham, 1 year, $4 million deal. We all saw that signing, and at the same time, all collectively thought, all right, Tommy Pham will come here, maybe be a, bottom of the lineup batter, give okay defense, and then at the trade deadline, he'll be shipped out. A signing to be traded away for prospects at the deadline. Nope. Pirates didn't do that. And what makes me go insane the most about Tommy Pham not being traded is because Ben Cherington, it was a mistake to sign Tommy Pham in the first place. Even though he's been on a heater the past couple of months, the Pirates, they should have spent their money and more money. They should have spent more and used their money better to go and actually get a, left fielder that just doesn't, come alive when the games don't matter most. So I want to get that out of the way. But where Ben Cherington not only made the signing, made the mistake of signing Tommy Pham, he made the mistake twice by keeping Pham. What did Tommy Pham do in the first half of the year? Completely sucked. Couldn't hit worth a damn because of his eyes. Glad that he got his eyes fixed. I'm not, being mean or facetious about that. What I'm saying is, beginning of the year, absolutely horrendous. Also, couldn't, really field all that well or up to his standards. He was a key contributor into why the Pirates, by the time the calendar flipped to May even, that the Bucs were completely down and out of it. Season is over. Pack it up. Then, with the season, nothing worth a damn to play for. Eyes fixed. Good for him. Happy for him. Starts hitting the crap out of the ball. All of a sudden, he goes from designated for assignment candidate, get this guy the hell off my team right now, to, okay, Tommy, we see you hitting, going 2 for 3 night in, night out. All right, look at him building the trade stock. We might actually get, a half-decent batter in return for him. And what does Ben Cherington do? Tommy Pham, all of a sudden, probably one of the top outfielders available at the deadline. And lots of people were saying, okay, look for Tommy Pham to get moved. He was bounced around by 2 teams last year at trade deadline. Ben Cherington keeps him. So he kept Tommy Pham when he sucked and wasn't worth a damn, and the team fell into an unescapable hole, in large part because of him. And then he kept him again when Tommy was actually worth something at the deadline, and you can get something in return for him. And now you get nothing for him because I guarantee you he's going to walk in the offseason. Maybe he, goes the Andrew McCutchen route, signs here for 1 extra year. But do you really think that the Pirates are going to, bring back Pham on the same contract, 1 year, $4 million? No, even though some team didn't get him at this deadline, I'm sure some other team out there next offseason, they're going to have a hole in their outfield. They'll say, hey, look at Tommy Pham's numbers for the second half of the year. Pirates are offering 1 year, $5 million. Let's go and sprinkle in, offer him 8, because we know the Pirates, they aren't going to tread those waters. So, that's what frustrated me at the most. Ben Cherington making the wrong decision on Tommy Pham twice, kept him when he shouldn't have, didn't get rid of him when he shouldn't have, both 2 different times, different contexts. So that annoyed me. The Bailey Falter trade annoyed me. Big old nothing burger there. Bednar gone for... I broke down all the prospects there. It's just, all chaos and all, crap in Pirates land. And Oddly enough, you want to hear something funny? We're just going to get into some of the newer stuff, some of the funny business with these trades. With Ke'Bryan Hayes, David Bednar now gone, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Andrew Heaney, and Tommy Pham, those three guys who we just talked about, they now are in the top 6 on Pirates players making the most amount of money in this organization right now. They are the 6. They are now 3 of the 6 highest paid players on the active roster. So excuse me, I misspoke. So you got who would be that? Brian Reynolds, of course. Andrew McCutchen, I think, if he's doing his 1-year $5 million thing. And then who else is the third other than those 3? Wouldn't be Spencer Horwitz. That be I don't know. Why am I blanking? Not none of the catchers. I don't know, but that I found that hilarious. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Andrew Heaney, and Tommy Pham all of a sudden are top 6 highest players on the team. And pretty much the only good thing to come of this deadline, and there's sort of a backhanded approach to this as well. Pirates now, by trading away everything they did, they now have cleared $18 million off of their books. Hayes and I think his $8 million a year are now gone. Bailey Falter gone. David Bednar, he was due to get a pay raise next year through arbitration. He's gone. Caleb Ferguson, his $3 million gone. Taylor Rogers, I don't know how much he was making. He's gone. So $18 million the Pirates saved by trading those 5 guys at the deadline this year. Another $16 million, by the way, will come off the books when Heaney, IKF, and Pham's deals are up after this year. And that $16 million will turn into $23.3 million if Andrew McCutchen, reliever Tim Meza, who we haven't seen since the beginning of the year, and Ryan Borucki, if those 3 do not re-sign. So in total, with the $18 million they saved through trades and a possible 6 players who I just mentioned on expiring deals after the season, the Pirates could have $41.3 million to play with in the offseason and in free agency. Good. Like that, $41 million. Sprinkle a little bit here for an actual hitting third baseman, maybe get an outfielder, another first baseman to platoon with Spencer Horwitz, backfield the bullpen with a couple of relievers. Then you have to remember it's Ben Cherington making the signings, and it's Bob Nutting supplying the money. So, yeah, $41.3 million. I will be shocked if the Pirates spend $41 million in total this offseason. Again, free agency, trades, whatever you want to call it. I guarantee you the Pirates, they will not spend $41 million come December and so on and so forth. Real quick, before I continue on here with Ben Cherington's comments today, or I guess these were last night, but I'm talking about them today. Let's go to the comment section real quick. And 2 constant viewers of mine, Freight Train, welcome back. Yep, still terrible day after. Slept on it last night. You were here, Freight Train. We were on stream, reacting live to these trades. We were furious in the moment. I was furious for most of the night afterwards. Slept on it last night. Tried to find the little victories in these moves. There really isn't. And they're not worth the guys running the team, Nutting, Cherington, they're not worth me giving them their small victories. It was a terrible deadline, the worst trade deadline in Pittsburgh sports history, constructed and ran by the worst general manager in Pittsburgh sports history, under the worst owner in not just Pittsburgh sports history, but one of the worst owners in the history of sports ever. A joke of a general manager, a joke of an owner. Me, my family, we usually try to go to Pirate games, maybe a couple every season. Not going to go. They're worth the time. They're not worth the money. They're not worth the effort, the emotional, investment. So, yeah, that a terrible day. it was a terrible day yesterday. Tried to see if today would be better, but yeah, it's still terrible. Real quick, Jonathan Harvey, why can't a human being called Nutting just sell the team, realizing that he can no longer deprive Pittsburgh's baseball team of sustained success? He doesn't care about success there, Jonathan. He doesn't care about success. You know what he cares about? Right here. I'll tell you right here. This is what he cares about. Pay no attention to the lettering here. That's what he cares about. He cares about all those dollar bills falling down right there. Doesn't care about the money. As long as the Pirates are, along with, this is now me getting into a little bit baseball's economic system. There's the collective bargaining agreement in place right now where at the end of the season, all teams pretty much that didn't meet their, financial goals of the season, the collective bargaining agreement, all teams get, share of the league's money. So, it's not like Nutting is starving for money. It's not like the team is getting money one way or another. And the organization, and this goes for all the sports, the prices and the valuations of sports franchises in just about every sports league, it's going up. You see football teams get sold for over $5 billion. The Tampa Bay Rays right now, I think they're going to sell for $1.7 billion. Why would Bob Nutting see a baseball team kind of like them, cheap spenders? Now, granted, the Rays, they are 10 times the better developers and of an organization like the Pirates have. I don't have to revisit the Chris Archer trade at all here. But yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays, kind of like the Pirates, cheap organization, better developing. They just sold or are going to sell for over $1.5 billion. And Bob Nutting sees that. He sees other sports franchises in different sports, their valuations going up by every sale. Why would he get rid of the team when he could say, if I wait a little bit longer, I could sell this team by $2 billion. He's going to keep on holding on to it, keep on hoarding the money, doesn't care about winning. He will say all the right things when the camera is in front of him. He will look dead into the camera like I'm looking dead into the camera right now. Say, we got to be better. We got to develop better. This has got to happen. This has got to happen. I want to win. I care about the city. I care about the fans. All BS. All lip service. He'll tuck his tail. He'll put his wallet in his pocket, death grip that thing in his pocket, make sure no one touches it, and he won't do a damn thing. Remember, Bob Nutting, guy who last year on the record said, I have supplied everything that this organization needs to win. It's up to the execution part now. A bottom 10 consistently year after year, a bottom 10 payroll with a general manager who has no clue what he's doing, doesn't know the difference between his ass and a hole in the ground. So nothing's going to change, Jonathan. I hate to break it to you, but that's just what it's going. That's just what's going on. By the way, speaking of things and them never changing, what's never going to change is Ben Cherington. Just like Bob Nutting, he is the king of lip service. He said this last night, talking about all the trades it's made. He said, first off, those who came back in return, Ben Cherington saying Rafael Flores, the catcher who headlined the Bednar trade, will go to AAA. Kind of expected. Only had 10 games, I think, of AAA experience. Maybe he'll be up with the big league club some point next year. Maybe not. Who knows? Great job there. Also, Evan Sisk, that lefty reliever who came in the Bailey Falter trade, he got put to AAA as well. And every other player, I'm going to assume, is in single A where they currently are. So Ben Cherington, remember, heading into the deadline, we can't be risk averse. We can't, everything we do has to be to make the 2026 Pittsburgh Pirates as best as they can. Not a single player he brought in at this trade deadline will be joining the team in Colorado tonight. So that was fun. By the way, back to the prospects. MLB Pipeline, their new top 30 prospect was updated this afternoon. Sammy Stafura, who came back in the Key Brian Hayes trade, is now the number 7 prospect on the Pirates. Rafael Flores, headlining the Bednar deal, is number 11. Edglin Perez, the second catcher in the Bednar deal, is number 15. And Jeter Martinez, the right-handed 19-year-old who they got for Caleb Ferguson, he is the number 23 prospect for the Pirates. So 4 out of the 7 prospects that the Pirates got at the trade deadline are in the top 30. Brian Sanchez, Kalen Moss, and Ivan Brethauer did not make the top 30. So that sounds all nice and dandy. Now we're going to get into some of the juicy quotes here. Ben Cherington. This one right here. Ben Cherington said that the Pirates, quote, had access to players that were ranked higher than who the Yankees offered for David Bednar. Cherington simply preferred this package, receiving Flores, Perez, and Sanchez. So the number 8 prospect, 14 prospect, and an unranked prospect who he got for Bednar. They had access to higher ranked players that they did not want. I think looking at the Yankees top 30 prospect MLB pipeline rankings, Flores, aside from George Lombard, their top prospect, he's a shortstop in Double-A, and Spencer Jones, who I desperately wanted, a outfielder in Triple-A who is absolutely raking. Flores was the top position player available. All right, I'll take Flores. However, after that, you get their number 14 guy and an unranked guy, both in low A. If you're going to get low A guys, why not just get the highest low A guy that you possibly can? Honestly, that makes no sense. I don't even care if they're a pitcher at that point, because then you know what? That gives you another pitcher in your pipeline. You're great at that. Maybe someone will come to you one day and overpay for a highly touted pitching prospect. And hang on here. You're access to better players, you're high A players, then why do they have to be those high A players? You should be getting the highest high A players that you probably can in the ranking. That makes sense. Also, in this one, probably the most damning statement of them all. Remember what Cherington said. 2026, we're going to make that Pirates team as best as we possibly can. We can't be shy to take risks. That's what Cherington said a couple days before the deadline. Then had here, when asked if he had opportunities to acquire major league bats, Cherington said, we could have done it, just not at a price we were comfortable with. I think we've just got to carry that into the offseason. I think we knew a lot more here have to back into that. We could have had big league bats. There were opportunities on the table for us to do that, just not at the price we're comfortable with. We can't be risk averse, he said a couple of days ago. And then he says, we weren't comfortable doing that. There's no comfortability in risk here. He, to his old say, you have to be comfortable saying no. He's all too comfortable saying no. Just says no tons and tons and tons of times until something terrible comes along. Then he says yes. If you had that much fun with Ben Cherington and his comments, we're not the only ones frustrated with him Turns out a bunch of other people are frustrated with him as well. Noah Hiles, who I just mentioned, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette beat writer for the Pirates, he said that the trade deadline for the Pirates, first off, foremost, was an F-. Also said that not too many people are pleased with the deadline inside and outside of the organization. Outside of the organization, us fans were confused by it. Confused actually was the word he used. He said lots of people were confused with the Pirates and how they approached the trade deadline. Us fans were angry and confused. National media heads, they're confused, except for a couple people. The Athletic gave the Pirates a B. Inside the organization, I think you know what Hiles is referring to a couple of people, inside the organization being a little confused. I'm sure some front office people are. How about this? A person who doesn't work for the team directly. Well, I don't know. I guess you can say does kind of work for the team, but he kind of doesn't. Works for Sports Pittsburgh. Michael McCurry yesterday posted a bunch of cryptic, like one of a gif of dude who's eyes wide open. I don't think he understood what was going on. I also think David Bednar was a good friend of his, so he was a little thrown off by that trade. And then he comes back 2 in the afternoon today with this one. Great teams are made when every single member knows where they're going and will do anything to get there. A quote from Patty McCord. To me tells me that Henry and a lot of other people knew that the Pirates weren't going to do everything that they did this trade deadline, and that they were confused as all hell by what happened. Also thrown off by it, I think Bailey Falter was, or at least his wife was. Bailey Falter, Bailey Falter's wife, tweeted right after the trade yesterday, unwell on Twitter. Also posted goodbye PNC Park with a picture of the ballpark. I guess that was when Falter, flew back to Pittsburgh, cleared out his locker, all that. So, yeah, lots of people didn't know what was going on. Also, it's bad when those covering the team want to anymore. Dan Kovacic of DK Sports tweeted last night, "I've had enough. I've written enough. I've spoken enough." Basically said today he's done covering the Pirates because he doesn't want to carry a team, doesn't want to cover a group of people that only care about finances instead of, playing baseball and winning. So don't blame him there. And yeah, that does it. Ben Cherington, an all-time worst trade deadline that deserves, or I should say that warrants him being given his walking papers. And two, minor thoughts about, why he did what he did at the trade deadline. I see it either as he is, getting thrown out. He knows he's getting fired here in 3 months, and he just wanted to, stick it to the organization, get middling returns. Or, he did that trade deadline. He moved Bednar and all that because he knows that he is going to be here in 2027. And that he is getting he is not on any sort of hot seat from the owner. So, yep, that was that. Like I said, Pirates, by the way, they are in Colorado tonight. 8:10 first pitch. Andrew Heaney, somehow still here. He gets the start. The Pirates also, by the way, this an hour ago, they did make their call-ups to replace Bailey Falter, David Bednar, Caleb Ferguson, Thomas Harrington. Hey, at least some young guy is back up here with the team. He is back up. Kyle Nicholas as well. He's had a rough year so far, but not too long ago, he was projected to be a closer type of pitcher. Now he gets that chance. So you guessed it. Wouldn't you know it? He's back up with the team to fill in for Key Brian Hayes, like we all suspected. And also this one, also obvious here. Rocky back off of the injured list. He was with the team San Francisco. The team didn't activate him though until the trade deadline was passed. So Harrington, Nicholas, Triolo, and Barucki back with the team. Pirates 8-10 tonight against the worst team in baseball, Colorado Rockies, and it would be so poetic if the Pirates just, for 3 straight games in Colorado, laid goose egg after goose egg after goose egg to wrap up a horrendous week off the field for the team. I would say on the field, they swept the Giants, but really after yesterday, it would be pretty accurate and not surprising if they were to suck on the field. Okay, done with Pirates talk. All right, we got it all out of our systems. We talked about it. Thank you all for putting up with me through that. Now, let's move on. One Pittsburgh sports team to another. One that's, I think, on the opposite end of the spectrum here from the Pirates. The Pirates, everything is looking down. Terrible general manager. No way out of it. Meanwhile, let's look at the football team. Pittsburgh Steelers. Things seem to be on the up and up. They got a fantastic general manager who's making all the right moves. Promising future, not just for the present, but, a couple years down the line, well, hopefully they draft a franchise quarterback next year. Speaking of that general manager and him making all the right moves, does Omar Khan have 1, maybe 2 massive moves in him? Talked about yesterday's trade deadline stream for the MLB. Terry McLaurin, we mentioned him a bunch on this stream. He officially requesting a trade from the Washington Commanders. For the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL, looking at a new contract, was holding out in training camp, then turned to hold in. Now he's requested a trade, and it was kind of like an in-the-moment thing. Last night, just says, hey, I want out. That would be the move. You're talking about making an offense as best as it possibly can be for this upcoming season. Terry McLaurin with DK Metcalf, all of a sudden, one of the best wide receiver twos in the league. McLaurin for sure would be the number 1. Also, you got Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, solid running back threesome, Aaron Rodgers at the helm. That would be cool. And that would turn over, talking about this right now, that turns my move over quite well following yesterday. I would say push all the chips in to go get Terry McLaurin. And I said, hey, hang on, who just requested a trade? Micah Parsons. Ladies and gentlemen, Micah Parsons requesting a trade today out of Dallas. Diana Rossini, she's been on top of a bunch of this offseason, saying Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys relationship has deteriorated, to a point where he wants out of Dallas, put out a whole big statement on his official Twitter profile today. I assume that's on his other social media platforms as well. Some of the quotes and statements from Micah Parsons' trade request: I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying line for the organization, our fans, and I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Steve Jones personally. Things all of a sudden going from bad to way, way worse in Dallas. And the reason why I bring this up, Steelers defense pretty much set. Got TJ Watt locked up, which, by the way, with these trade requests, thank goodness that the Steelers locked him up. We wouldn't want to go through this. But Watt, Highsmith, defensive line, pretty sturdy. Derek Hartman, first-round pick. Secondary has been told. Jalen Ramsey. You got Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr. back there. Why not Micah Parsons? That's a question that, sticks with me, because Parsons, out of all the teams that he wants to go to, the Steelers, they have to be at the top of that list. this from a while ago here. Quote, Parsons has no interest in playing anywhere but with the Cowboys. That was from a while ago. He did say, though, if hypothetically he did go home later in his career, meaning come back to Pennsylvania, he's from Harrisburg, went to Penn State, he said the Pittsburgh Steelers were his choice for the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, Parsons on CBS Sports not too long ago, this was back in February, Brian McFadden, saying, I rock with the Steelers. Parsons loves the Steelers, wants to be a Steeler. I bet you Omar Khan is kicking the tires right now. And if anybody can do this, can pull off getting Micah Parsons to Pittsburgh, it would be him. You know, Steelers, now they have $25 million in cap space available. I'm sure they could, you know, move some money around, restructure some contract, make some room for Parsons, who, by the way, Parsons, 4 Pro Bowls, 3-time All-Pro, Defensive Rookie of the Year, over 50 career sacks thus far, 26 years old. Yeah, I'd move money, and I'd move a lot of stuff to get him on this defense. Where does he fit in? I don't know. We'll figure that part out later. Play just about everywhere at linebacker and defensive line, so I'll take that. But yeah, interested to hear what you think. Would you want Parsons or would you want Terry McLaurin? Or Omar Khan might spoil us again and get both. If I had a good pick right now, I'd probably go McLaurin. You know, defense, it's all right. You don't have too many glaring holes. Offense, though, could use another high-profile wide receiver. That would also give whoever the rookie quarterback will be a solid wide receiver tandem. But just thought would throw that out there. Micah Parsons requesting a trade today. Terry McLaurin trade. Steelers can get one of those two. Great. Gonna take things too seriously quite yet. What will make this just a little bit more sweeter is if Trey Hendrickson requests a trade out of Cincinnati here soon. So I'll be all right with it. Before I continue on here, want to remind you all that if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you have not done so already. Forza Ferrari 9, do your comment in there. Hopefully everything is coming across smoothly here. Wi-Fi in here. But yes, to the channel, turn on notifications, leave a like, drop a comment, and share my stream as well. Before I continue on here, do want to scroll through Twitter here real quick, see if we have anything new coming up here. Any new information since I have been live. Pirates manager John Kelly says that Thomas Harrington will pick out of the bullpen. The team has yet to decide who will fill Bailey Falter's spot in the rotation. They will have until Monday to make that choice. It's not going to be Thomas Harrington. Should be Bubba Chandler. Just saying. If the 26-man rotate, the 26-man roster is filled right now, you got to think Bubba Chandler or Johan Oviedo is going to be getting that next call as a starter for the Bucs. Oh, well, hey, at least we are off to a hot start with the prospects. Anthony Murray of DK Pittsburgh Sports. They're not covering the Pirates Major League team. They're still covering the minor league team. Sammy Stafura, 3 for 3. I assume he's with the Greensboro Grasshoppers, the Pirates High A affiliate. 3 for tonight. A double, triple, and single. A home run away from the cycle. Also put his strong arm on display earlier. Okay. I think I heard someone mention Stafura back on Wednesday night when the trade was made, that he was like almost like a Jordy Mercer type product that he could project out as a Jordy Mercer of the Pirates, according to people inside the organization. I'd be okay with that. This team could use Jordy Mercer for as bad as they've been. Seeing a video here, and do some more Pittsburgh sports news right now, real quick, in the comments section. Freight Train, welcome back. Just now hitting live. Appreciate it as always. Into more Pittsburgh sports news right now. The lines right now filling up outside Latrobe Memorial Stadium there for the Friday night lights practice that the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing. That is, just one of the out there why we're not talking about Steelers as much here today, because practice will be starting here in about 15 minutes, if I had to guess. Some other Steelers news, minors here. Madden 26 continuing to drop rankings inside their game, and kind of crazy this one, not so crazy. The Steelers with the highest rated defense in Madden 26, a 91 overall defense for the Steelers. They are ahead of some other top 10 teams here. The Kansas City Chiefs at 89, Dallas Cowboys 88, Baltimore Ravens at 87. For all the money that the Steelers put on defense and for all the players that they've brought in over the past couple of years, they better be top defense in the game. So thought that was cool. A little bit of respect on the Steelers' way. That 91 overall in the reflects to how they actually do on the field. Some of the top players on defense. TJ Watt at 96 overall. We talked about him. He is a top 3 edge rusher in men. Jalen Ramsey a 94 overall, also a top 3 corner in the game. Cam Hayward a 94. I'm sure that's top 10 among defensive tackles. Alex Highsmith at an 88. Darius Slay here an 84. Deshaun 82. Patrick Queen 82. Joey Porter Jr. an 80. Also, a couple of offensive players here. DK Metcalf at 85. Chris Boswell also 85. Jack Frazier in 84. Decent respect for him. I think he's 3 center in the league already in just his second year. Pat Fryer in 84. Jonnu Smith in 81. Isaac Seumalo in 80. And Jalen Warren in 80. No Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers all the way down in the 70s. If he was an 80, I would assume they would put on this graphic here over Warren. So Aaron Rodgers, once, back when I used to play Madden religiously, a 92 overall up there in the 90s range, now all the way down past 80. That one's crazy. Also, for Madden, even though the Steelers, they have a 91 overall defensive grade, the team grade overall, they are the 9th top team in the game, 86, just below the Denver Broncos and Houston Texans, and just above the San Francisco 49ers. So hopefully the offense, they can be a good offense, and the Steelers, they can bump all the way into the top 5 here in terms of team overalls. A couple extra things here on the Steelers roster moves that they made today. Familiar face back with the team. Also, I like this guy a lot. Braden Foco, legendary Twitter tweeter. Non-earth-shattering news he posted 4 hours ago. I'm signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Foco, probably one of my favorite reserve defensive linemen that the Steelers have ever had. Funny dude. I also like this play from when he was with the LA Chargers. Now he's back with the team. Happy with that. Also, the Steelers today, another roster move. They signed former Minnesota defensive tackle Kyler Baugh onto their training camp roster. Defensive tackle Jacob Slade. He's been one of the guys, never makes the team, but you always see him coming back for Steelers training camp. He was waived today with an injury designation, so sorry to hear that for him. Last piece of Steelers news here this evening. We talked about Terry McLaurin a couple minutes ago and him possibly, coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers now that he's submitted a trade request. Another receiver out there that some insiders and some betting have the Steelers as a to sign this guy. Keenan Allen could not be on the market for much longer. He is visiting today with the LA Chargers, his former team where he had most success in his career with. The Chargers, of course, if you remember just a couple of weeks ago, Mike Williams retired, so they have an opening wide receiver on their roster. Maybe they back Keenan Allen to relive some glory days out there in LA. Never really understood if he does end up signing with LA. Never really understood why the Steelers favorites for him. Now, would I to have him on this team? Yes. Tall, physical, contested catch guy. Could never have too many of those. But he blatantly went out on one of his TikToks and said, hey, love Aaron Rodgers, but I ain't signing in Pittsburgh. So never understood that. We'll watch that. Top option for me, honestly. Amari Cooper is still available. We'll see. If not, trade for McLaurin. Back into baseball here just for minutes. These two stories here, just two extra baseball stories, not related to the Pirates, but this does relate to two guys affiliated with the organization, if you know what I mean. In Cleveland, the Cleveland Guardians, we have been following the gambling or alleged gambling situation out there with Luis Ortiz. Apparently, he has been on unpaid, or I guess paid leave by the MLB while they're investigated him for pitches. His locker, along with their closer Emmanuel Clase, has now been cleaned out of the Guardians clubhouse. Just wanted to make a note of, not sure if that means we're going to get an announcement here soon on whether, Ortiz, is he getting booed baseball for life or not? Who knows? Last baseball story here today. Congratulations to Greg Brown, Pittsburgh Pirates play-by-play broadcaster. He is going into the Buffalo Baseball Hall of Fame. The Buffalo Bison AAA affiliate for the Toronto Blue Jays making an announcement. The Buffalo Baseball Hall of Fame. Greg Brown, back in his young days, used to, I guess, do radio there for the Buffalo Bison, or somewhere up there in Buffalo. Congratulations to him on making that Hall of Fame. I guess that Hall of Fame ceremony will be coming up here on the 16th of this month. So Brown said, thank you, Buffalo Baseball Hall of Fame. Humbled and honored beyond words. Can't wait to be there on the 16th. Congratulations, Greg Brown. Going to do one roll here through Twitter, see if we have anything new here. Sammy Starr, by the way, turns out he is not the Greensboro Grasshoppers. He's the low A Bradenton Marauders. 3 for 3 on cycle watch. Run of the cycle. Maybe we'll see if he gets that here a little bit later on. Looks we got our first picture of David Bednar in New York Yankees gear, and still doesn't feel right looking at that. It's going to look weird seeing him in pinstripes. I do wonder this, though. I think I might have said this yesterday. If not, I said it on my own last night. Does Bednar still keep Renegade now that he's Yankees? That was like Pittsburgh kid, Pittsburgh loved song. Does he carry them to New York now? I don't know. It'd be curious to me. What I would do, though, if I was working in the stadium production for PNC Park when the Yankees return one day, when Bednar returns one day, if he ever comes into a game at PNC Park, I'm sure the Pirates, they'll run a thank you video for Bednar. I'm playing Renegade for him. He deserves it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to do it. What a week. What a week on the channel. I want to thank you all for joining me. Talked a bunch about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their ongoing training camp. We covered the first padded practice. I think tonight their practice will be a one Latrobe Memorial Stadium, so that's fun to see things on. So, fun. Steelers looking. They won 3 in a row on the West Coast against the San Francisco Giants. The next turned on its head with the trade deadline. Now we move forward, looking forward to football season. Not so looking forward to the rest of this baseball season, but hey, we will cover it all here on the channel. Thank you all very much. Be on the lookout later tonight. SCSR 60, the new 60-second or less news video that I do here on the channel. That will also be posted to all of the following social media as well: Facebook, Instagram, and X. Go give me a follow on those as well. For the final time, thank you all. Appreciate it through the ups and downs. Thank you for keep coming back and tuning into me. I appreciate it beyond what you may know. So thank you very much. Final time, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you never miss when I'm live again. Like and share this live stream. Leave a comment also after the fact. I appreciate you all. CSR 60, and I'll see you back here on Monday, assuming that there isn't major breaking news. McLaurin, Parsons coming to the Steelers. Assuming nothing major happens like that, we'll be back here on Monday to recap what all goes on this weekend. Thank you all. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday. Appreciate you guys. Peace.